GHOne TV, your best experience.
Welcome to Life's Tales right here on GHOne TV. I am very sure you're wondering, where is Lily Mohammed? You're sorry to say she's under the weather, but I promise you it is going to be fun right here on Life's Tale. Now, let's look at our cities in the country. As long as the gap between rural and urban remains, the city remains the center for attraction. The city looks like a glittering one from afar. But if you are to zoom into it, is it really the case? Maybe we have basic amenities being provided for us. We have recreational facilities. We have job opportunities here and there. But how is life in the city like? Is it like how they talk about from afar? Let's talk about the almighty rent in Accra and major cities across the country. How easy are you to get accommodation? How is rent like? How have you been able to pay your rent for the past years you've been renting? We'll be talking about these and delving deeper into these issues right here on Life's Tales on GHOne TV. I am Blessing Bliss Frimpong. You can call me Blessing, and you're welcome to the show. Now, somebody has actually written to us concerning rent issues in the country. Let's take a look at that. And after that, I'll tell you who we are going to discuss this with.
Dear Tales, I'm a young man in my mid-30s and living in a rented apartment right here in Accra for almost 2 years. I will say that my job doesn't pay enough, but I've managed to furnish my place to an appreciable level. Currently, I have about 2.5 months to pay my next rent, and this is where my fears choke me. For the past 7 months, I have not been paid, yet I have to cough up about 9,600 Ghana cedis if I want to continue my stay here. In all of my adult life, this is the third place I've had to rent. In my first 2 apartments, I moved in with my friends for cost sharing, but I had to go solo because of some unpleasant experiences with roommates, and more importantly, my girlfriend was not comfortable with me living with others and gave me an ultimatum to move or lose her. Living in my current apartment, I hoped that with time I could save enough for my next payment. However, with many demands back at home and the increase in prices of everything but salaries, I have failed in this regard. My best option is to find another place, but have done my scouting. I find that I cannot afford to pay another 2 years advance. The prices are so high that I can't breathe when I think about them, and I wonder why accommodation in this country is so expensive. The more affordable ones are also too far from my workplace that calculating my transportation fare doesn't even make sense. Tales, what do I do? With the way my landlord has been sending me reminders for my rent and threats of vacating me, I fear I might become homeless in some months to come. Please help me.
Wow. So there you have it, the letter for the night. And may I introduce to you the people who are going to help us discuss this issue. First of all, is a blogger who has been talking about this issue of rent on social media for so long. His name is Kobiche. Kobiche, you're welcome.
Thank you, Bless. How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
Nice, bless.
Right, and we have Araba Mensima Brown. She's an administrative assistant. Araba, you're welcome.
Thank you, Bless.
And finally, we have Amina Sadiq. She's an IT consultant and an educator. Amina, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Right, so let's look at the letter. First of all, what do you make of it, Amina?
Well, from my perspective, it seems as if this young man is really having much difficulty with his accommodation here in terms of the rent. I mean, now for me, I was just mentioning that 9,000 is quite, okay from from what I've been looking at since I've been here. It's pretty okay. It's pretty decent. But I mean, given where he's coming from, his income, those are all things that you have to put into consideration. So definitely I can see where he's having some difficulty.
Right. Kobiche, what do you make of it?
So let me use this opportunity to say a very good evening to those streaming and watching live home and everywhere. I feel that this young man is a youth, and I mean, he's been struggling so far as accommodation is concerned. And the fact that he's supposed to raise certain amounts by the close of the month or year to settle his landlord or landlady.
Yeah.
And again, the fact that he must also pay in advance. Again, making sure that he gets decent accommodation. Again, his income.
Yeah.
Looking at what is coming in and what is going out. Does it tally? So it has become a problem. Because, for instance, if, let's say, your income is manageable, your income can tally with your expenditure, then you don't really feel that pains. But, for instance, if you are getting, let's say, your monthly pay or salaries, say 1,500 or 1,000, and you're paying 9,000 for like 2 years in advance, it's crazy.
Yes,
but I'm sure we'll go into that. But
yes,
this is an issue. This is a major issue that almost every youth in Ghana and in Africa at large, they are going through. And I'm happy to be here to have a discussion on this topic.
Right. Araba, what's your take on the letter?
Well, it's unfortunate he's in this position, considering that he's in a dilemma now as to whether to raise the money to pay. That is, if he can raise the money to pay, and looking at other options. But I can't blame him. Right now, we are facing the issue of rent advance. Like, why do I have to pay 2 years advance? Do you even consider that I may not have the amount you are asking for? No, but life goes on, and he has to cough out the money.
Yeah.
Like Amina said, there's a good deal for 2 years. 9,600 is a good deal. Looking at how much some of us have to pay, but then he doesn't have the money. What does he do? And I think it's a bit unfair for the landlord to demand that much. I mean, this has been a tenant who has been there for a while. So I was assuming, or I would wish, some landlords could take at least 6 months salary advance and then, rent advance, and then later take the rest. But we don't have that now.
It's
just
definitely not the case. We would come to that, but be reminded that Life's Tales is proudly brought to you by Peck. Peck is back and is bringing you the best, as they always do. Your favorite Peck biscuit has been made more milky, more tasty, and 2 extra biscuits in every pack you buy. For all your great moments, Peck has got you covered. Get your 16% extra promo in any shop near you for Pecky moments. We will have our Peck moments right here in the studio, but let's look at the things you would consider or look out for if you are to rent a place. What are some of the things you look out for? Kobe?
All right. Before that, I think that when you look at Ghana's socioeconomic problems, one of them is accommodation.
Yeah.
And for me, for like 65 years of independence, we are still struggling to have decent accommodation for the youth of Ghana. And again, not also increasing salary, not having decent job. Because at the end of the day, what really affects is that now everybody is now trying to rush into the city. We are growing up. Right from university, you do your national service. That is when everything started, or everything will start. National service, accommodation, where you stay to work. Then after you marry. After you marry, then you give children. I mean, you give birth to children.
Yeah.
Then that is where the focus now starts from. Now moving from, say, a single room to 2-bedroom, then 3-bedroom. So that is a framework. Now, for me, as a youth, some of the things that I'll look out for if I'm going in to rent is, number one, the distance from where I stay or where I live to my workplace.
Right.
Is it close? Am I not going to waste money on transportation? Because mind you, a lot of the youth today are spending a lot on accommodation alone. Transportation alone.
Right.
Accommodation hasn't come. So first of all, I think one of the things that every individual will look at is the distance, where I'm going to stay, plus is it close to where my work is? And again, is it a decent accommodation? Where I'm going to live? Is it like, because some people will be very comfortable living in an area, say if it's a compound house. Some wouldn't also want to do that. So is it a decent place? Right after, when I say decent, it comes down to looking at electricity supply. Is it an area that, I mean, there's the availability of electricity, and again, water supply. And here we are talking about the city, Accra. And mind you, there are a lot of areas in Accra that are still struggling. Again, 65 years of independence.
Yeah.
Kwame Nkrumah, 65 years of independence, and we are still some areas in Accra, not even the rural areas. So some rural areas are even getting water supply and light supply 24/7. So this is Accra, but again, people are suffering when it comes to the availability of water. And again, the transport condition is a transport from where you live to your workplace or even in town for productivity. Is it okay? Again, there are a lot of areas that, till we speak, the government, let me commend them, the government is doing everything that it takes to fix some rules, but I think that we are too late. Because these are simple things that I feel that the government shouldn't delay. It shouldn't turn into politics. You understand?
Right.
So these are some of the areas that I'll look at. Decent accommodation, whether there's light supply, there's the road network is good. So these are basically some of the few things that I'll look at when I want to go into renting.
Right. Araba, what do you look out for?
Yes, like Kobe mentioned, the proximity from my home to my workplace, access to water, like constant flowing of water, electricity, and then safety. Okay.
Right.
I've moved around quite a lot. I started renting when I first went to Upper West region. That was in 2015. And considering where I lived, it was quite okay. As some students used to complain that they had issues of robberies, rape, and the rest. So yes, safety, proximity, access to water, electricity, and how serene the environment is. I currently live in North Legon, and much as it's killing me to pay the rent, I'll still live there because you don't have people mount canopies at the end of every weekend to disturb you with their parties. I used to live at Hatcho.
Blocking roads.
Tell me about
Traffic.
it. I used to live at Hatcho, right next to the Chief's Palace, and we had this almost every weekend.
Wow.
Imagine stressing yourself, going through the hustle and bustle throughout the week, and then you think you are going to have the weekend to yourself, to rest, to de-stress. And as early as 4 a.m., you hear, "Eradier, Mabo," like, what the hell? So no, that was one of the reasons I quickly moved when my rent expired.
Right.
It's depressing. So yes, besides the fact that I look out for somewhere closer to where I work, I look out for a serene environment, my safety, and then what's another rest and the rest should follow. I mean, it should be decent as well, because at the end of the day, when I spend how many hours at work or in town, I have to come home to somewhere accommodating, somewhere I'll look around and be like, "Whew, I'm home." Yeah,
Okay.
somewhere welcoming. Yeah.
Yes.
So those are the things I'll look out for
Right.
if I'm renting.
Right. Amina, are you also considering security, serene environment, somewhere you can call home, even though it's not really your home?
You know what? I think that they both hit the nail on the head.
Right.
So for me, having recently moved to Ghana, some of my preferences are just slightly different. So for instance, the area that I'm looking at definitely has to have good schools. I have little ones.
Right.
So I want to make sure that my home, the proximity to my home to the school is very close. Another thing that I'm looking for is just to ensure that, you know, there are kids around there, like it's kind of family oriented. Of course, it kind of, you know, it takes a village to raise children and to bring up a family. So really looking for an area that has a lot of family and is family oriented. Another big one for me is internet connection and just the network connection. So finding out
This is the DB point of view.
but you know, but no, you know, I lived in Pram Pram for like 2 months.
Oh, but Pram is not bad though. All the same, the
but it's
DB,
not-
DB department.
No. I think, you know, I think it's true.
Why did you move from Pram?
You know what it was? Pram Pram was like a nice, very serene area, but the motorway drive was killing me.
Right.
It
scared you.
It did scare me. You know what? I'm good to drive long distances.
Right.
But once the lights go off, that's it. Like,
Okay.
we're out for like a whole day. So again, like I mentioned, like, you know, I'm coming from a different place, right? So my preferences might be a little bit different. Of course, getting to be comfortable in my area is one good thing. So, yes.
Now, you have been in Ghana for some time now. Comparing, just as you said, you were not around, you were away.
Yeah.
Let's compare accommodation in Ghana and then accommodation in Canada, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How is it like?
All right. So one of the biggest learning gaps for me that I had to come over was paying the 1 year upfront or paying 2 years upfront.
Right.
It has its pros and its cons. So for me in Canada, we pay first and last month's rent. So even if your accommodation is, let's say, like $2,000 a month, you would pay $4,000 upfront.
Okay.
And then you would pay monthly. It was
So you pay for 2 months.
so you pay for, so your first, 2 months, your first and last month. So
Okay.
usually if you rent the place for 1 year, you pay for the first month that you're coming to attain the property and then the last month, which is great because when you give your last month's notice, you don't have to pay anything because you've already
Yeah.
paid in the beginning. Now you pay monthly, $2,000, $3,000, however much you pay monthly every month. So you have like a couple of weeks to kind of formulate yourself and put your money together. But the con in that is that you're paying monthly. So you're always having to come out of pocket and be paying monthly.
cost money.
Whereby if you're able to just sacrifice and get all your money up front and pay for the whole year, you're never thinking about rent for the whole year.
Yes.
The difficulty that I'm finding is that all of the accommodations is USD. You go there like, oh, 1,000 USD, 2,000 USD. Like if you're looking in like
BBA.
cantonments and Labani.
Yeah.
So I decided, okay, I'm going to like East Legon
Come to my area.
right? Santo or Nanachrome, right? That's what they call it.
Yeah.
So going there was quite cheaper, still expensive, but luckily for me, which I found was different, was I was able to find an accommodation where they accept 3 months.
Okay. And how cheap was that?
It was actually, well, my standards, it was 5,000 Ghana cedis a month.
A month.
A month.
Yes.
Madam,
5,000 cedis a month.
5,000
Ghana
what?
cedis.
month.
5,000 cedis
Like
a
30
month.
days. Oh,
A month. So you had to
Komi,
pay
why are you shocked?
15,000.
Yeah.
oh, she should continue.
No, and she thinks it's a good deal.
But it's,
I
but
had to
exactly.
pay like 12,400,
A month.
and no.
Okay, so
I'll leave you people.
so before that, how expensive was it? So before the 5,000,
Oh my gosh.
which amounts were you hearing?
Oh, I was hearing like $1,000 a month.
Right.
I was hearing like 1,500, like 1,500 USD a month.
Wow.
So to me, when I was hearing, oh, 600 USD a month. I was like, oh, that's okay. But again, I'm coming from a different place, right? So my experience will be a little bit different. And what I think is like great may not necessarily be great for somebody who lives here as well, right?
Yes. Now looking at, as you said, they were charging in dollars.
Yes.
Okay, let's just compare it in dollars. Let's just forget about the exchange rate. And compare it in dollars. If you were to be in Canada, would you pay $2,500 a month for your apartment?
Oh, that's what they're paying.
With a year rent,
Never.
a year advance?
Never.
Right, so it's monthly.
It's monthly. And that's the system. No, there's nowhere where you ever hear a landlord say, I want 1 year or 2 years up front. There's even laws against it. Like
It
you
just
can't
doesn't work.
It
just
won't
doesn't
work.
Yeah.
And we do have it here, but it just
doesn't work.
Rent control.
It just doesn't work.
All right, Kobe, you have been talking about the issue of accommodation for some time now. And obviously, you can see that you don't know who to even hold accountable for this, because most of the times you talk about it and rent control will be like, oh, the bill is in Parliament, we are trying to work on it, and until that. Recently, BOG released a statement that the legal tender in this country is CD and not dollars. But you still have people doing business in dollars, charging rent in dollars. What even keeps you? What gives you the passion to talk about this almost every time? Even looking at the fact that the issue is not even sorted.
Thank you. So I've had similar questions. People come in my DMs or in my DMs telling me, I mean, Kobe, you've jumped on this campaign pushing for this whole renting. I mean, why do you do that? I feel that as a blogger and someone who has the numbers, and as an influencer, whichever way I have to use my platform to push that agenda, one or the other, I'm sure that's the reason why you called me here. I started from social media platform, and he came here. I'm sure leaders are watching. Now I feel that, and again, I have lots of people, especially the youth, coming to DM me sending me messages addressing the challenges they are going through. Just go out and do a voice pop and ask about rent issue. I don't know whether you guys have done that, but almost 90% of the Ghanaian youth, let me even focus on the youth. Ghanaian youth are struggling when it comes to rent issues in Ghana. And it seems nobody is ready to solve that issue. Now, I read the MPP manifesto, and it was beautifully outlined that they had put in place measures to solve rent issues in Ghana. When they are on their political campaign platforms, they use all the energy to address certain concerns of the youth, especially rent. But when they get into power, then the narrative will change. My question is, why are the youth also keeping quiet? Why are our leaders also doing that to us? Because we are the future leaders, and in every country, you need to build the fundamentals. And some of the fundamentals are we getting a secure place, an affordable place to sleep. Again, with rent issues in Ghana, one of the things that irritates a lot of Ghanaians is agents. I don't know whether they have a body. I feel that they don't have anybody. Nobody is controlling them. There's no regulation.
Tell me about it.
Yes,
I don't think
there's nothing like I belong. This is my card. I belong to the Ghana Agents Association of House and Apartment and Estate. So somebody who can just tell you that. So for instance, I go and I tell. So this lady is an agent. I come to you. Hi, madam. So I'm looking for an apartment at East Legon at New Botsano Castle area. This woman has taken about 10 people. She has taken the money from us.
Yes.
And she will lead us to a particular place, knowing that I will not like the place.
Yeah.
And they will take you to the place. You get furious about it. They will cool you down. That's he or she will take the money. One time, I told the person, I'll put you in my car. I will drive you. After driving him, touring all the areas in Accra, this man again took my money. We went to a different house. This man took money. So I feel that there should be some regulations to really check these people out. Because nobody can just, when you are roaming, you see that agent, you see some billboard or you see some small board.
A small paper. Stuck on the wall.
Stuck on the wall. Agent, call this number, Mr. This, Mr. This. So who is controlling these people?
Nobody.
I want GHOne News to follow this up. The rent control department, the acting boss has been on his position for so many years and nobody gives a damn about it. Rent has become a problem in this country. So I feel that, and again.
But on that, do you think that they would be able to control the agents and even bring them under one administration, looking at how somebody can just get up and say, I'm an agent and I have this house. And you know how desperate people can be. If you have a house here, I want to go. They don't even care whether you have an ID or anything. If you have it, I want to follow you, because probably the person is having an issue with a landlord or something. The person just needs to move. Do you think it will be easy regulating?
Number one, everything is possible. Again, education. I feel that the media at large and everyone who is responsible are supposed to educate the masses. For instance, she mentioned that the system over there is different. There are laws working in this country that you're supposed to even pay 6 months or so. You're not supposed to go through an agent and all this.
Can I cut in? So there's this thing that I've witnessed about 4 landlords. You tell them, well, this is too expensive. They'll tell you, so what the Nigerians will pay. So even if they are quoting 1,000 USD, as you mentioned, and you cannot afford and you voice it, they'll tell you, go, the Nigerians will pay. So it has become the standard sort of, I need a place badly, but I can't afford this. Go, the Nigerian will pay. And they don't care. Because they have someone who's going to pay. But the unfortunate thing is, well, the Nigerian will pay. What about me? I can't pay. So are we going to say because some other people can afford and some others can't afford, we are just going to let a thing be? Like, it's...
Are we going to say because some people can afford, we'll get to you. But can we just say that because others can, well, we are sticking to the price? And Araba, you've moved several times. So we'll come to why you have done that. But we'll do that right after this. Stay with us.
It's good to try something new every day. It's good to stay strong together. It's good when you get the rest you need because your family has got you. It's good to share nutritious meals cooked with Frytol, a vitamin A fortified oil. Whatever goodness means to you, Frytol stands with you. Frytol, you deserve a life of goodness. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, Kumasi. The only family jamboree happening this Easter is the Pilolo Easter Party. This time, we are bringing you music, food, fun, and more fun for all the children and their families. Live band music at the adult corner, artists passing through, and more playing items for the kids to make them continue shouting Easter bunny, bouncy castles, swimming pool, train rides, merry-go-round, face painting, and so many exciting things at the Rotary Park. It's a double do.
This Easter, Saturday 16th and Easter Sunday, which is the 17th of April 2022. Time is 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. sharp each day. Rate is only 10 Ghana cedis. Attractive packages for families and groups. Just call on 0244-862-1544 for your packages and sponsorship now. Pilolo is proudly brought to you by Ultimate 106.9 FM in the Busia 96.5 FM. Remember, all COVID-19 protocols will be observed. Pilolo!
Junior, Let's play riddle, riddle.
Riddle.
What was milky but is now milkier?
Milkier.
And yeah, even more in the pack. And they're your favorites.
Pack biscuits.
More milkiness in every bite. And more biscuits in every pack. Pack biscuits. Pack up your day more. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. This is Live Tales right here on GHOne TV. I am Blessing Bliss Frimpong. You can call me Blessing. I'm sitting in for your usual host, Lily Mohammed. Now, Live Tales is proudly brought to you by Compu Ghana. Extra special Easter promotion is happening at Compu Ghana nationwide and online beginning April 1st. Shop for quality brands like LG, Samsung, Tecno, Infinix, HP, Dell, Lenovo, Sony, Bluetech, Sensor, and many more. Visit any Compu Ghana branch this Easter season and enjoy discounts up to 50% off. And gifts with purchase is amazing. There's something for everyone at Compu Ghana. Visit us yourself or shop online at www.compugana.com, or you can download the app Compu Ghana on Android or iOS and enjoy free delivery in Accra and Tema. Contact us on 0302 752020, or you can WhatsApp 0243 143 143. Compu Ghana, passion for technology. We are still on the rent issue, and Araba, you have moved several times in Accra. Why?
Okay, so the first one, if I don't have peace in the house, I'll move. How could you ask a tenant, me, who pays for cleaning services,
Right.
he asked me to wake up and sweep the house for a week? Like, there's a sweeping rooster. Like, no.
You pay for
cleaning services.
and you still clean.
And you want us to clean. I just couldn't. So, yeah.
Right.
I had to move. And then the second time, that's why I talked about Hacho. We lived right adjacent to the park, the community park. So at dawn, you hear funeral or events, canopies, loud music everywhere. You can't even have the peace you need. It's crazy.
The
Even
parties,
at night,
the
and
weekend parties.
it goes deep into the night. From morning 4 a.m. till night about 11 p.m. Like, what the hell? And then you have the foundations of the whole building shaking. What are you trying to do to me? I need peace. So yes, that was one of the reasons I moved. And then the final reason I moved from where I was previously was it wasn't safe. Okay, you go out and then you're coming back and you feel people actually stalking you. Like other tenants were complaining that they had stuff picked from their room, and it was getting a bit too much. So I had to move. That's the reason I moved here in Accra.
Right.
But from Upper West to Accra, it was job related. I had to rent in Upper West, and trust me, they have equally good buildings, nice spaces, decent spaces, and the rent is like so cheap there. A friend was telling me his chamber and hall self-contained has increased. The rent has increased, and he's complaining. How much is he paying? 2,500 for a whole year, and he's complaining. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, sorry, like, pay that money, pay that money, pay that money, like.
Because it's not easy.
2,500 for a year, and you are complaining. You are taking 2K plus, and please just pay the money. You are complaining. Pay the money already.
Right. Now, 9,600 cedis for a gentleman, a young man who is actually complaining about his salary. Has not been paid for months. Don't you think he's living above his means, Amina?
So, I don't think that he's necessarily living above his means, right? Because it's out of his control.
Right.
You know, he obviously is working for a salary, and it's his employers. They were supposed to pay him. So there's little to nothing that he can do, right? So, but if he was aware that he wasn't receiving enough money at that point when he, got into the tenancy agreement, then I would say he's living above his means. But he was aware that this is what I'm paying, this is how much I'm getting. So I think it has to do with the salary. And one thing that I've questioned a lot, and I have a few friends who live here, and I said, how are you guys like living? Because from what I know, you know, the salary range is like 1,000 Ghana, 2,000 Ghana. So if you're receiving 1,000, 2,000 Ghana, how long does it take for you to save up money to be able to afford an accommodation?
It's painful.
So how do you feel when you hear that amount being paid as salary at the end of the month, and how much they are paying out of the salary for their rents, which is actually paid in advance a year or above?
It's quite sad, and I'm worried. I think that's one of the biggest feelings that overcomes me, is I'm worried. Like, how are you guys surviving? So then it goes into a plethora of, you know, what do they do outside of work? What other jobs do they have?
Yeah.
The youth getting into crime, doing, you know, fraudulent activities, like doing things that are going to have, they're trying to make a living, and they're trying to set themselves up well, because 1,000 Ghana, like, that's not a lot of money per month, right?
Kobe, 9,600. Is it that the young man is just trying to, just as he said, impress his girlfriend? He's trying to do too much than he can afford, or it's just not fair?
Before, I want to just salute every Ghanaian youth who is renting in Ghana, who is on a low salary. Like she mentioned, I've also had the same, friends who are in the diaspora asking me, like, you guys, how do you guys manage? how do you guys manage? So I want to salute, if I have to stand up, I salute every Ghanaian youth. To save some, send money to your parents at home.
Right.
Sometimes the pressure of your siblings pay their school fees. Charlie, me bread. You understand? Like, I can literally relate to everything that the young man is going through.
Sorry, why?
From your preamble, sorry, Yati. From your preamble, you asked all of us that what will make us go and rent, or what will really convince us to go and go for a specific house or apartment. The person is thinking about all the things that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Security, accommodation, peace of mind. So where do you want him to go? Rather, what is the solution?
But
what is the way out?
Is 9,600 not too much?
It is. Look, because at the end of the day, it looks as if you are working, you are gathering money to go and give to someone at the end of the year. It's actually disturbing. Because as I'm sitting down now, like he mentioned, we have a lot of expenses. But I have to put in place measures where after my salary drops, but a certain amount is deducted, so that by the end of the year, I have to give to my landlord. Like, you look at all this money, like, damn, I could do business with this. I could do this with this. But who's going to talk for us? My landlord will tell you, I'm taking 1 year. If you're not taking it, someone else is coming to take it. What do? You pay. Because the hassle of estate agents spending your money and not even getting where you want, going to rent control to fight for you because you want to pay, or you have just 6 months money to pay and your landlord doesn't want to take. By the end of that, you've wasted more than you've even decided to keep. So you just have to pay at the end of the day. It's stressful, but
Kobe, you're a man.
Yes.
Probably you would understand him from a man's point of view.
Yes. These days, look at the pressure on men. Probably someone is just thinking that, cut your coat according to your size. But this young man is going through a lot. Now, why is it that the government or private sectors are also not paying the people well? There are a lot of laws in this country, but the implementation has become a problem. Now, one of the things that I want to suggest is that when you go to the private companies or the government sector, what they do is that all those apartments and the depots and all those buildings are for the high-class people, the MDs, the chief executive officer. So why don't the private sector, why don't they build like affordable homes so that their employees can accommodate in such buildings?
That reminds me of affordable housing.
You understand?
And how that is going.
Yes,
and how
it is
affordable it is.
It is good. That's also another question.
Relative. Affordable is very relative.
It is very relative.
So it is going to be like, and you see, most of these apartments are also for the private people.
Yeah.
And the government is not controlling them.
True.
So if, let's say, I'm a private individual, look at the building, look at the price of building materials.
That's true.
We are not building our own materials. So all the building materials are from the Western people coming to us. So until we build our own materials, it is also going to be another problem. Now the government is taxing these real estate people. So how are they also going to build affordable homes and reduce the prices for us? So government must also put in some policies, some regulations, so that some of these real estate guys can also come down for us. What is controlling them? When you go to East Legon Hills and Dallas, we are in Ghana.
The
prices of land.
Yes, cantonments.
And then the shock of your life is that most of these apartments are even empty.
Yes, they are.
Most of them
are empty in Accra.
I prefer it stays empty.
So why don't you build something that, again, all of us can just pay something small to, stay in the house and live comfortably?
Well, in their defense, they have their target market.
So
it's not you.
So the government's accommodation, the word affordable, it's not affordable.
Yeah, no, it isn't.
And I feel that we must also find a way to build the networks, the road network system. For instance, if someone is living at, say, Akosombo, say, Winneba, people can still live there and use the railway system to come to Accra. There's a lot of policies, there's a lot of things, implementations, things that the government can do to ease some of these things, but they are not doing. If there's a railway system and I can just go to Swedro or Aguna Diako where I live, come to Winneba in the morning, pick up like 40 minutes, I'm in Accra, go back. Everybody wants to move to Accra because there's no network system that will bring all of us here.
So that goes into urban planning. That goes into the city's urban planning.
Exactly. It boils back to government and how everything is managed.
Because do you Selege apartment?
Saglemi.
If there's a good railway system, people wouldn't mind go there.
It wouldn't be a problem.
All these things are in the bush, rotten. Taxpayers' money.
But do you think the government has disappointed us in terms of housing, especially for the young people? Do you think they have deceived us?
Oh, yes, greatly. Okay, because the MPs, the ministers, they are given apartments or that they don't rent. Yes. But if you are given an MP money, you are given an MP, a minister salary, like a bracket, that this is the cap, you are getting this for your rent. Yes. I'm not giving you a house, I'm not giving you this. I'm giving you this amount for fuel. Okay, he will also feel our pains. He'll know that, Charlie, this road I'm using, this building I'm going to look for with this money I've been given, let me go and push a bill that will make life a bit easier for everyone. But no, he doesn't use the road we use. He doesn't use the cars we use. He gets unlimited fuel. If you have unlimited fuel and your AC is on, your car is big, and then you just live somewhere else, how would you feel my pain?
Yeah.
So right now it comes back to us. Okay, we become our own policy makers because the MP is not going to sit there and push the bill. So these real estate owners, these builders and etc., they have to come together. Even you and I can come together, draft a proposal, give to them, look, you people have money. If you didn't have money, you won't put up this building. Push this for us, lobby for us, let this bill be passed in such a way that we can rent your building so that in 3 months you don't have it sitting there rotting away. We can pay for 3 months, look for money for another 3 months and come and pay. Right. That's what I believe.
In the diaspora, is there any measure or anything the government is doing to cut down stress on rent that you think that Ghana and our government can do to help us? Because we need saving.
There's many policies and programs in place for youth, especially. So there is affordable housing, but I think everywhere there's own challenges. So there is affordable housing. You put your name on a list. Usually there's a long wait list, depending on what city that you want to get the rent in. So Toronto, the wait list is like a year.
Right.
If you go out further to Ottawa or you go to Windsor, those areas, you'll get called within 3 months. And what they do is they look at your income, and they also look at all your expenses. And then they do some calculations and they figure out the amount that would work best for you. So I've known a few people back in university who applied and they were paying like $50 a month.
Wow.
Yeah. And they
do that monthly, not even
look at
a a year.
No,
months.
and it's just a month. And the apartments were very nice. Sometimes if you were smart, you would put your name on a list for like somewhere that has a nice condo. Oh, the windows are big. You pay $50 a month, and they look at your income, and you can maintain that apartment until you no longer you no longer want it, right? And that was helping a lot of people, especially homeless people, single mothers, people displaced from their homes, of course, people who were coming from another country, refugees, like they would have access to these things. So they just look at your income, calculate your expenses, and they'll tell you, okay, you pay $10 a month, or you pay $50 a month, and then you just do that until you're
let me ask something. So I also have friends in the diaspora, and I mean, if I'm wrong, you just tell me I'm wrong. They have a solid database of the people there.
Yeah.
In Ghana, if I give my room to this girl and she runs away, how am I going to find her database to know that this is what she's doing, this is what she's getting at the end of the month, so that I can look at that and give her the room or the apartment, say 3 months?
Absolutely. So what he just said is very, very true. And I was actually having a conversation with my father about this just a couple of days ago. And we said, in order for you to even get an apartment, you need to obviously provide a piece of ID. So your driver's license or your social insurance number is like your ID. It's almost like the Ghana card. On top of that, you need to provide a credit check. So no matter what, you need a credit check in order for you to be able to qualify to get into that property. And your credit has to be of a decent score. Now, they have all of these things on file. Once they have this on file, they check it and everything checks through, then you're good to go. Now, if you default on your payments, then what they will do is they'll just go after your credit. And they'll put that on your credit, and you can't do anything.
Exactly.
There's like absolutely nothing that you can do.
So I think that we need to build, and that's when I think that I have to say a big shout out to the vice president in terms of his idea of bringing the whole digital, thing to Ghanaians. If you have a solid database of individuals, it means that I can just, like you said, I can just take my Ghana card or anything that shows that I'm a Ghanaian and has a database or maybe credit card. To know that this is the money I get every month, and so you can look through that data and give me your house, or you can give me your home. So until we solve some of these things, it's also be a big challenge. But I feel that the government must also do what and provide, build affordable accommodation. Affordable. When I say affordable, I mean affordable.
Right.
When you go on your constituencies, the youth. I feel that the youth of this country also keep quiet. A lot.
You're not angry enough.
The youth of this country are not voicing out.
Enough.
You understand?
Yeah.
You see me talking about rent issues, and somebody will say that, hey, Ghana is not for you. Meanwhile, you are growing, you're going to get married, your life is going to expand, your family. So we need to add our voice to conversations.
What do you expect the youth to do now?
Number one, collectively, we have to be part of conversations, like I mentioned, and not insults. Let's collectively come together and address certain issues. When you watch or when you listen to political platforms, you notice that same people calling, I don't know whether they've programmed the serial callers, they've programmed them, but the same people calling all the time. We have to be part, and again, holding our leaders, our MPs, our whoever, our road ministers, our whoever, we have to hold them accountable. She is living in the diaspora. When there's time for demonstration, you know how aggressively they share their sentiment on issues. So I feel that we have to hold our leaders accountable, especially when they come into power.
What happened to fix the country?
Fix the country.
No, if you say fix the country.
1 minute. No, I'm coming. I'm not even asking. I'm not talking about fix the country. I'm asking about like what happened to fix the country. We went on this demonstration massively. We all did. But what happened now? Nothing.
Kwame Nkrumah said, be careful of the Ghanaian youth. They are boiling up.
Okay, I really hope so. But obviously you can see that we still have some young people, of course, like ourselves, who are still talking about it. And I believe, I believe and I'm hoping that something can be done about it. Now let's look at some of the comments you've brought to us concerning this issue. Tracy, as someone says, it's just sad that in this country, it feels like we are working for landlords. At the end of the year, you will carry all your saving and use it to pay for your rent. He should try and live with a friend or relative for now and to enable him save up some cash. And Ellie Kem says, I have an empty room in my house. Come settle, bro. Accra is too hot. Why can't we help a brother? That's rather kind of you. Ellie Kem. Now, CBC says, but clearly he doesn't need a girlfriend in this circumstance. He should leave the girl and go to a cost-sharing option till he can afford to rent the solo way. And 9,000, this is Becca. Becca says 9,600 CDs for 2 years. I am sure there are apartments that could and would cost way less. Maybe not up to his taste and standard, but the bitter truth is nobody is coming to save you in this journey called life. So you always have to try and live within your means by cutting your coat according to your size. Amponsa says, but where is the uncomfortable of that made him go solo? Where is the Amponsa, I can't get what you're trying to say. Why is the uncomfortable? Why? I'm trying to get your comments. Okay, so let's move on. Can't she help? My brother, it is clear the girl will leave you and if you can't afford. We all know how hard it is in Accra. So these are some of the comments you've been making on social media concerning the issue we have. We still have more to talk about on Tales right here on GHOne TV. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
We are who we are. Beautifully African.
Whatever we are doing now is going to reflect in the future.
We thank those who came before us, and we pave a path for those who come after. We keep walking.
This advert is FDA approved. Drink responsibly.
It's good to try something new every day. It's good to stay strong together. It's good when you get the rest you need because your family has got you. It's good to share nutritious meals cooked with Fritol, a vitamin A fortified oil. Whatever goodness means to you, Fritol stands with you. Fritol, you deserve a life of goodness. This advert is FDA approved.
Hello, Kumasi. The only family jamboree happening this Easter is the Pillow Easter Party. This time, we are bringing you music, food, fun, and more fun for all the children and their families. Live band music at the adult corner, artists passing through, and more playing items for the kids to make them continue shouting. Easter bunny, bouncy castles, swimming pool, train rides, merry-go-round, face painting, and so many exciting things at the GHOne Park.
It's a double do. This Easter, Saturday 16th and Easter Sunday, which is the 17th of April 2022. Time is 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. sharp each day. Rate is only 10 Ghana cedis. Attractive packages for families and groups. Just call on 0244-862-1544 for your packages and sponsorship now. Pillow is proudly brought to you by Ultimate 106.9 FM in Abusia 96.5 FM. Remember, all COVID-19 protocols will be observed. Pillow!
You are still here with us on Live Tales right here on GHOne TV. I am Blessing, and we've been talking about rent in Ghana, and quite a lot we've been talking about. And the issue of rent, I don't know how we'll be able to tackle this, starting from government to other stakeholders and all that. But I would like you to share with us briefly, what do you think can be done to make sure renting is easy, especially in cities? Amina.
I think we need to emphasize on the regulations. Definitely, it's not regulated. So we have people like myself who are coming from the diaspora who are like, oh, this is great. And it's really not, because it's making it a little bit more difficult for people who live on ground, who've been on ground for many years, to actually afford it. So there needs to be regulations in terms of the price ranges that landlords can put on their homes. We talked about Fix the Country, and I don't know how that broke apart or it's separated, but looking at putting a good list and having a good kind of board that kind of governs the whole organization to bring those asks to the government to say, hey, you know what, this is what is bothering our youth and many people here in Ghana, and how and when can you implement these changes for us?
Kobe.
Okay, so number one, I feel that we have to come together, the leaders. We must not, even though Accra is a city, let's have an idea of also building other cities so that there wouldn't be enough pressure or a lot of pressure in Accra. So when we go to Cape Coast, there are a lot of recreational facilities, accommodation. Let's try and also focus on building other cities with jobs and other things. That is number one. Again, to the Real Estate Union of Ghana. I don't know how you guys call you guys call yourself, but you guys should meet the governments. Let's see how best, and again, how the government can also reduce the prices of building materials. Because once you increase the building materials, the dollar rates and all these things, it affects the real estate people. So they have no choice. And the lands in this country is also going up. So let's find a way. The best people or the best body who can do that is the government. Let's find a way to reduce some of these things, the prices, taxation and all that, so that they can also build. I'm sure that if the price of building materials are less, they can help us build some affordable homes with partnership with the government. But they are not doing that. Lastly, to the youth of Ghana, if you are watching me, I know you have to think about security and water and all those things, but I beg you, until then, if the governments and private bodies are not doing that for us, live within your means. Don't sit down and say your girlfriend is giving you pressure. Life goes beyond just your girlfriend. I know it is good to have a partner, but until then, have a partner who understands you with the ghetto, with the 100 cedis a month that you are staying, so that you guys can build your life together. And yes, sir, pressure. God bless you and stay safe wherever you find yourself.
Okay, so Ira, before I come to you, Lily Muhammad is watching us, and she actually made a correction. She says that MPs rather rent, but ministers don't. There's only ministers who are giving accommodation and all, but MPs also rent. So probably they also, but they could be in the position to afford.
I said they are the one even building the apartment for the people to rent.
They are affordable. It's not affordable.
Yes, it's not. It's not. What do you think can be done?
Okay, so yeah, as they've mentioned already, I think the emphasis should be on rent control. I mean, you go report your issues with your landlord to the rent control. The landlord goes behind you to pay or sort them out, and then the case becomes trashed. So we are appealing to governments, to MPs, yes, directly, since they also rent, not that I know. They should pass the bill. They should enforce it that landlords, homeowners, estate owners are not taking more than 6%, 6 months rent advance. And yes, with the pricing. Look, some of these buildings are already there, but then they keep increasing their prices because the dollar rate is going up. We are begging them, like, there should be a regulation. Yes, there should be a regulation. Certain prices shouldn't rocket beyond what they are already at right now.
Second. If the landlords, if they are increasing, you did something to me. If the landlords are increasing the prices. They must also make sure that if you are on hold neat. Because if you are moving from 500 to 800, that's a fun. Any name in India.
Exactly. So it must match the costs. They should get value out of it.
Move out.
Regulation and all that. So we've been discussing issue of rent right here on Live Tales, and it's been such an interesting discussion. We had Kobiche, who is a blogger, Araba Mensima Brown, who is an administrative assistant, and Amina Sadiq, IT consultant and educator. Thank you to our sponsors, Peck Biscuit and Compi Ghana, for holding us down. I am Blessing Bliss from Pong. You can call me Blessing. We're hoping that the issue of rents will be sorted and it will be more comfortable for us to rent in the city. From us to you, have a good night.